Hi guys, welcome to Basement Supercar Build, the channel where we see if an average guy like me can design and build his own mid-engine car. This video will be a highlights video of the work that was finished this week. If you want to see the actual work take place, watch the full-length video for this week. And with that out of the way, let's get started on this week's video.
So I've been playing with the door glass fitment. That's what this piece of paper is here. It's 3 inches wide, and that should be the gap between the windshield and the door. Problem is, I don't know exactly at what angle this gap lays to meet the door glass. Got to work that out. I was able to, using the wiring schematic for the regulator here, I was able to raise the glass all the way to the top so I could start working on placement. Couple things. The height of the glass and the regulator tracks are somewhat taller than what I was expecting. I knew that I would have to either place the glass either behind this or cut and notch this. It looks like those tracks are going to have to go all the way to the floor and mount almost even with the bottom of the door. So I've got some cutting here to do. Not quite sure how this is going to fit and blend in. The window is almost to the back of the door frame, which is okay as long as it doesn't get too close and it leaves me enough room to do what I need to do here. Most likely this windshield will have to scoot forward just a little bit to make room for this door glass. There is a lot of things happening here, a lot of different pieces that combine and work together. And before I'm comfortable starting on any of that, I want to think about it and do some careful measuring and modeling on the computer and try to get a good game plan before I start cutting on this. So in the meantime, what I'm going to do is, the metal finally came in. I've been waiting on this metal for, it seems like 2.5 months for the new floor skins. And I cut the pieces down to size this morning and also cleaned up all of the old glue and sealant material around where all the old pieces were mounted to the bottom. And everything's ready to put the new pieces back on, so I'm going to start fitting those up. I have some Clecos here I'm going to use. I'm going to drill holes for rivets and Cleco the panels in place to hold them on squarely while I finish drilling all of the holes for the rivets. And then once I have these panels cut and sized to fit exactly the way I want them, we'll go ahead and put sealant on these panels and rivet them into place to stay permanently. But let's go ahead and get started on some of that. So I have all of the skins on the bottom of the car. It's kind of dark under here. I'm not sure you can see, but you can see maybe here. You can see the sealant squeezed out a little bit from when I riveted this. The pop rivets are all in. All the way back. The center, the radiator tubes, the heating and cooling tubes, has removable panels with screws, and I'll have to finish the two in the rear. They'll have to have some holes drilled and some riv nuts put on them. Well, I've been fitting this door glass in the door frame, and I've run into a few obstacles. I had to cut the frame apart and re-weld some pieces in it. I originally thought there was going to be more interference here in this area, so I removed about half of this piece on the old frame, and then once I realized I didn't need quite that much taken away, I wanted to replace it with a new one and just remove what I needed to for clearance to make the door frame a little stronger. You can see I still need to remove just a little bit here. I'm touching here, so I need a little bit more clearance. Everything looks good back here. And although the glass is close to touching here everywhere, when this is pulled out to where it needs to be, I think that's going to have clearance and be fine. I'll have to use a shorter bolt here because that bolt will be in the way. But the top of this glass should come in and give it just a little bit of clearance there. So I think that's going to work. I still need to cut this off and put that piece at an angle. It needs to move over at this tape mark about 1 inch. which will put the glass in the center of this piece, but I don't know that exact angle yet. So I'm going to measure some more to get that. I need to know the angle, how far in, and the overall height. There'll be a piece welded on the inside and outside straddling that window for strength. And up here at the front, I've started cutting this new piece. I have it notched, fit around this, and I have this angle cut, but I'm not sure where I'm going to stop it here yet, because I may need to put this front piece at an angle also. It may be straight and it may be at an angle, but I don't want to cut that and then have to remake it. So I'm trying to be careful and do one little thing at a time. But this is looking good. I did have to limit, let's see if I can see it here somewhere. I had to limit the down travel. I cut a notch in the frame here at 2 points, and I bent that track out so when the door comes down, it's sitting on that tab. Might be able to see better here. Right here, that frame was a continuation of this, and I cut it and notched it and bent it out to use as a stop. So when the window comes down, these guides or tracks that run up and down and hold the glass hit that and stop. It's the same thing. This was the old stop. It was welded in. It comes down and just bumps a stop. But I raised the stop up here, so I limited the down travel on the window, which helped tremendously. I had a lot of interference if it went all the way down. I'm only going to have, you know, a limited amount of opening on the window. Looks like about 10 or 11 inches. I only shortened the travel by about 1.5 inches, so I don't think that's going to be a big deal. Glass just won't go all the way down in the door. It'll stick up about 1 inch, 1.5 inches, and that should be fine. But that's what we've accomplished this week, and we'll continue where we left off here next week.